videos again because it's the only way information seems to get in my head, and it worked with GCSEs, so hopefully it will work with A-levels because I really want to do well this year and I can just see it not going very well so far. So today I'm going to start with psychology, and that's for the OCR specification, and I'm going to start with the psychological investigations exam, and this video is going to be talking about the self-report method. So self-report is a method involving asking a participant about their feelings, attitudes and beliefs. Examples are questionnaires and interviews. They're often used as a way of gaining participants' responses in observational studies and experiments. Questionnaires are a type of self-report method consisting of a set of questions which are usually in a highly structured and written form, and they contain open and closed questions, and participants record their own answers, and Likert and Osgood scale questions are used within answers within the questionnaires, and these will be gone into in more detail later. Interviews are a type of spoken questionnaire where the interviewer records responses. They can be structured, partially structured or unstructured, and each has their own benefit or disadvantage. So strengths and weaknesses of self-report in general is that they're often able to study large samples of people fairly easily and quickly. Like if, say, you send a questionnaire out in the post, I mean, if everyone was to respond, that would be quite a quick and easy way of getting data. You're able to examine a large number of variables because you're asking a lot of questions, so you'll be able to get data on lots of different thoughts and feelings and what all of these people believe about different things, and they can ask people to reveal behaviour and feelings which have been experienced in real situations. However, there could be social desirability bias, especially in children. Say you're asked a questionnaire at school, I know I've done this before, you kind of worry about who's going to see the questionnaire, so you may lie about what you put, or you may just put a different answer to make yourself look better to society. I know before, like, I spent a huge amount of time on the internet, and question I asked how many hours a week do you spend on the internet, and I made it less than it was because obviously it was so high. Another disadvantage is that questions aren't always clear, so we don't know if a respondent is really understanding the question. This really reduces the validity because it means it's not measuring what it's meant to be measuring, and it's not giving you the information and the thoughts and feelings that you want. The response rate can be low, so obviously if you send a question out in the post, chances are most people are going to ignore it. Don't know many people who would just fill in a questionnaire for the fun of things. And no, I wouldn't, unless it was an interesting questionnaire, then I might. Also, questions can be quite leading. It's quite hard to develop a question which isn't leading in any way and doesn't sort of lead for a person to go in one direction or another. Unstructured interviews can be time consuming and difficult to carry out. Also, they can have like too wide a range of responses because they can go off the point, and then you can't really compare data or compile like a general conclusion on the thoughts and feelings you're looking at. Structured interviews, however, can restrict the respondents' replies by being like too structured and too much to the point, so you don't really get a good sort of view on the thoughts and feelings of the behaviour you're trying to look at, or the subject you're trying to look at. This is why partially structured interviews are used, because they're kind of meant to be a good balance between the two. So open and closed questions. Closed questions provide limited choice of answers. For example, when you ask someone's age, there could be like age categories, like, you know, age like 1 to 9, 10 to, I don't know, 19 and so on. They provide quantitative data which is easy to analyse. It's just numbers and you can just look at it and like put it in a graph, which is quite easy to visualise and work out what it means. However, they don't allow the participant to give in-depth insights, so you don't really get explanations on their thoughts and opinions and why they may feel that way. Open questions invite the respondents to provide their own answers and provide qualitative data. However, these are difficult to analyse. An advantage is that they produce more in-depth responses which relate to what the participant actually thinks about like what the question is. Rating scales are also used in questionnaires and interviews, mainly in questionnaires. In a Likert scale, a statement is used and the participant decides how strongly they agree or disagree with statements. So you know when you get those questions and has strongly agree, undecided, disagree, or strongly disagree. Then Osgood scale questions are sort of on a scale of 1 to 10. They can give us an idea of how strongly a participant feels about something, and it's quantitative data which is easy to analyse statistically. A tendency with Likert scales is for people to respond towards the middle of the scale, so they look less extreme. I know I quite often respond to the middle sort of on these questions. Sometimes it's generally because I just don't have a view on the topic, and other times it's sort of because I don't want to seem too harsh or like too nice. Depends on really what the topic's about. Data is quantitative, so it doesn't provide in-depth replies as to why they may feel that way. An important thing to look at for self-report is reliability and validity. So reliability refers to how consistent a measuring device is. A measurement is said to be reliable or consistent if a measurement can produce similar results if used again in similar circumstances. So reliability of self-report can be assessed using the split half method, which involves splitting a test into two and having the same participant doing both halves. If the two halves of a test provide similar results, this would suggest that the test has internal reliability. Improving reliability of self-report can be done by ambiguous questions being clarified, or interviewers being given training so they know how to ask the questions and not come across leading in any way, and so they ensure the people being asked get the point of the question and answer correctly. Validity refers to whether a study measures or examines what it claims to. Questionnaires are often said to lack validity. A way of assessing validity is to compare the results of the self-report with another self-report on the same topic. There's a number of ways to improve the validity of self-report. For example, leading questions can be avoided, open questions can be added allowing respondents to expand upon their replies, and confidentiality can be reinforced, allowing respondents to give more truthful responses. So ethical issues are also involved in self-report. Some of them are like confidentiality, like you can't ask someone under 16 to do a questionnaire without parental permission or something. Also, if deception is used, as usually, it's important that debriefing is done. It's also important that questions don't cause psychological harm such as embarrassment, so sensitive and personal questions should be avoided, and researchers should respect confidentiality of their participants even more so if these are included. So that is all of self-report. That is quite a short video. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!